Hey everybody, welcome. Another video from Peter Wolfing, and now the flowers starting to come out. I love it, love it. It's been a terrible winter, but now you start seeing these flowers come out, you know it's about to break. And isn't that a way with your business, right? You go through dry spells, you go through warm spells. I don't know if you can see these buds starting to come out here a little bit. Well, it's going to be springtime any day now. This is the Conservatory Garden in Central Park. I don't know the exact street number, but maybe about 105th Street, somewhere around there. It's beautiful over here in the spring and summertime. All the trees are nice and flowery and everything. But, I was thinking about something the other day, and I said, well, I'm going to remember that because I want to make a video and talk about it. And I was thinking about my father, and he passed away in June of last year. And I went to see my mother, and she's still alive, and she's okay, thank goodness. And the thing I was thinking about is, how when you get older, your body starts to wither away. And, my father could barely walk eventually, and my mother is getting to that point. And, and I see so many seniors in that position that once they retire, they just stop, right? They don't become active. And my mother's a great reader, but reading is not interacting with people. And so your brain doesn't become stimulated. And now she's fighting with beginning to medium-sized Alzheimer's. And my father was 90, just turned 90 after he passed away, 90 and a half actually. And he was just a shell of himself. And they say every 10 years, if you don't use your body, you lose about 10% of your muscle mass. And I was thinking about that, and I said, wow, man, I don't want to be like that. And I kind of learned from things that have happened to me in the past. And that's one of the things that I wanted to learn, is to just not fade away. I wanted to be able to keep my body in shape so this way I can thrive in my senior years and not to fade away in my senior years. And that's mentally and physically. Now, I was thinking about that beyond that point, and I was thinking, how does that apply to my business? And it actually has a lot of similarities to it. When you're going into the workforce when you're young, most of the time you're put into the scenario of someone else decides how much you're worth, and you almost fight it at the beginning, but after a while it becomes the norm, right? Almost like when you retire, you kind of let go and you kind of accept it. And your income-bearing muscles start to fade away. And every few years, you get a little bit less, and you get more and more complacent and more dependent on other people to make it happen. Think about that for a second. Isn't that true? That the longer you go along and you become set in your ways and acceptant of, well, that's the way it is, and you take less chances, and you don't want to break the mold. You kind of, reliant on that job, that job, even though when you were younger, you're saying, I'm going to start my business someday, and that someday never happens, and it goes further and further and further along, and you don't go through with it. And as life goes on, you become, kind of used to it, right? So the muscle mass, the memory muscle mass of your financial bearing years starts to whittle away. And then by the time you're 60s and 70s, you're like, where did it all go? Then you're stuck because you have to rely on other people, Social Security and so on, to make it happen. So what I want to teach you today in this video is that building your business, entrepreneurship, building yourself personally through personal development and the like, is just like muscle mass. It's just like working out. You have to be able to build your muscles and build your personal development. Always keep yourself growing. Read different things. Listen to personal development audios. Instead of, going to do that brain junk food on TV, maybe watch something more educational or listen to a great audiobook or something to be able to feed yourself mentally and, of course, physically as far as your business. And physically means do it. Get out there and do it. Knowledge is power, but knowledge with action is incredible. So knowledge with action is incredible. You're going to go out and physically do what you know. So who cares if you know it, but if you don't put it into action, it's not going to happen. So, this is a great area. I love this area. I got to come back here later on when the flowers are out. This is awesome. So look at the characters in these trees. Right, so much character here. Bending and shaping all different ways and going through all the different heartaches that are out there in the different winters and summers they've been in. These are probably 100 years old, at least. So, anyway, so are you understanding what I'm saying? Are you kind of getting where I'm coming from? So, if you kind of wait, I don't know what kind of years you are in your life, whether you're younger, older, and so on, and put it into perspective as far as what applies to you. It's never too late. Never too late to start. Never too late to start and put that foot in front of the other and go for it. Because if you think it's too late to start, then you've already lost. Right? If you think it's too late to start, you've already lost. And we don't want that to happen to you. Get involved with a great network marketing company. Do your homework. Maybe it's one of ours, maybe it's something else. It's up to you. Do your homework. Do your due diligence of what you feel comfortable with. We have plenty of them available with our company. Go and find someone that's maybe a member of our company and get going. If you're a member of one of our programs, hey, contact me if you need some help. If you need some help, email me, contact me. I'll be more than happy to do what I can with the limited time that I have, but I'll be more than happy to do what I can, or I'll steer you in the right direction as best I can, because I don't want you to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and 20 years figuring it out like I did, okay? I took a long time of trying everything, because back then nobody would tell me, nobody would teach me how to figure it out. So I've always felt that flexing your muscles, flexing your workout muscles, meaning your financial workout muscles, is going to help. And when they say there's no pain, there's no gain, right? Same thing in your business. You're going to have the pain of rejection. You're going to have the pain of people saying no. You're going to have the pain of things going wrong. But it's what you do after you have that pain, so your muscles build themselves and become stronger. And what happens to me now, I'm going to tell you right now, not everything goes according to plan. It doesn't always work out. But what happens is that I've gone through so many different things. I have so many reference points that nobody can tell me this doesn't work. Right? So even if something happens, I'm just going to go right through it, over it, around it, under it, whatever it takes to make it happen, because I know for a fact that it works. So if you know what I know right now, you would do whatever it would take to figure out what I know and take that red pill or that green pill, right? You want to take the green pill so that this way you can automatically know what I know. And if you know what I know and you do what I do, it can happen for you. Oh, I like that. If you know what I know and do what I do, it can happen for you. And you got to get that way. The sooner you can get that way, the better. And if you have that element of doubt, that's going to be something that's going to be a problem. You don't want to have that doubt. You want to get that, unshakable belief that what you're doing is the right thing. And take some of our courses. We have lots of video courses. The program we just launched, Free Toolbox, is all about training and education and teaching you the different ways to be able to build your business. And other ones have the tools to build your business. And actually, I'll turn this way, go up this side. So where there's a will, there's a way. And when I got started, my sponsor quit, their sponsor quit, their sponsor quit. And I had an unshaking why. They say if you know your why, you'll find your way. And I knew my why. And no one was going to tell me this wasn't going to work, because I felt it in my bones. And I went through whatever I could. I had to travel 6 to 8 hours just to go to trainings every month. They only had them once a month. It was in Albany, upstate New York. So I dragged as many of my distributors as I could with me. And, my lovely wife, Peg, came with me as well. She was very supportive. And, I learned what I had to learn. And I was lean and green, just like a lot of you on this video right now. But I stuck around long enough to get paid. This is the northern part of Manhattan. It's down in the Harlem area, if you look on that side. And just a lovely area. So I stuck around long enough to get paid so that this way I can learn the tricks of my trade. Well, maybe tricks is a bad word, but you know what I mean. I wanted to learn the craft of network marketing. And someone doesn't earn hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just by winging it. Okay, you have to get good at your skills and your craft, and that's not going to happen in a week. All right, so if you knew that within whatever your goal times are, that you're going to earn 6 figures a year, maybe a lot more than that, would you do it? Would you do it? Well, look at where you're working right now. Do you have the potential to earn multiple six figures a year at where you're working? I would wager that you probably don't. Well, if you don't and you're not happy with it, how come you're not doing something else? And then once you get to that point where you're making six figures a year and more, then you decide, hey, maybe I want to do something else. But don't go quitting your job right away, okay, please. Just don't say, Peter told me you can do that. No, don't do that. So in your home-based business, you have the potential to earn whatever you want to earn, okay? And you can do it. You start from point A to get B, to get C, to get D. First you're making 500, then you're making 5,000, then you're making 50,000, then you're making more than that. So you have to go from A to B to C to get to those points, and don't go thinking that you're going to get to six figures a year by doing nothing. All right? You can't do nothing and make it happen. You got to work. It's called networking for a reason, not net wishing. And you can go from the outhouse to the penthouse, in record time with a network marketing program. If you put your blinders on, go for it, and don't worry about what other people say. Get with a good group, a great sponsor, work with them. But listen about the sponsor. If you feel you have a great company and products, don't worry about your sponsor, because your sponsor may be great, they may not be great, it may not work out. But don't say, hey, I failed because of my sponsor. There's always ways to be able to combine with other people, to be able to feed off the energy of other people, whether or not they're upline, sideline, downline, whatever. And because, as I told you before, my sponsor quit, their sponsor quit, their sponsor quit. So I didn't have an upline. I just went and grabbed the information wherever I could, right? So that's what I wanted to talk about today. And the story about my father and my mother, about them losing their physical ability to move, right? They say that the less you move, then the less you move, right? So the less you become mobile. And you get sedentary, and then you stop moving, and then you can't move anymore, and it gets worse, and it gets worse, and it gets worse. And before you know it, you can't even stand up out of the chair because your joints and your muscles become so deteriorated that you just can't even do it anymore. And I see that all the time, and it happened with my father, it's happening with my mother, and I see it all the time with seniors. So don't do that with your business. Don't do it. Don't do it. And it's never too late to start, to be able to get your muscles, your financial building muscles in order. Don't start by running a sprint and then throwing up. And what I mean is, don't go crazy when starting your business and do it too fast and you're going to throw up, all right? You can't run a marathon the first day you get out there because you're going to barf, right? So take it in bite-sized pieces and have those little successes every day, every week, every month, and before you know it, you're like, wow, I really came pretty far. That's what we call the compound effect. And you might want to read that book, Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Excellent book. And he talks about the decisions we make every single day, every single week, every single month are going to compound over time. And if you continue to do things like that, then you are going to be successful over time. And it's so true in our business as well. And I use a lot of the lessons in his book in my network marketing business. And I've used them already, I just didn't realize it, right? So guys, the Conservatory Garden, Central Park, springtime 2014. Take this video to heart if you can grab a lot of it as something personal, and maybe it can change your life. I certainly hope you do, and do fantastic in this wonderful business we call network marketing. Have a great day. Bye for now.